Hey everyone, it's Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and thank you for being a replay viewer. If you couldn't be here live, I am going to make these tiny little dangle pockets that I am inspired to make by Rosehill Paper Cottage. She made them out of a printable that she has, and it was like a little vintage envelope. But you know what? I had a ton of these extra button little envelopes. And so if you have these laying around your house, go around and gather them up. I'm sure you do. We all have them in our drawers, or if we uh, had bought, a bag of sewing ephemera or a bag of old buttons or something like that. They're always in there. And I usually use them in collage on the front, but I thought this was a really cute project. So I decided to, instead of using her digital printable envelopes, I just used envelopes that I already had. And it was a great way of using these up. So if you want to join me, go grab some of these. And then you want to get some beads and sequins. And I've got some star sequins. I have these beads here, like the assortment you get at the Dollar Tree of like little glass beads and bugle beads. So I have those. And I have like random little packets of beads and sequins and little seashell. This came off of a seashell necklace that I had bought. So I took it apart and I'm using the little seashell beads. I have some different shaped beads and sequins, so little flowers. You're also going to need I have tiny little buttons. I have a flower. So that little plate that you have on your desk, with all the little leftover bits and bobs that you've used in other past projects. We all have them sitting on our desk, some little bowl of like random things. Grab that because we're going to use them. Also, the little tiny pieces of string or some fabric, torn fabric, laces, things like that you're going to want to get. And if you have some bulb pins, or some safety pins, you're going to take that. I took some safety pins and I just kind of distressed them with paint. I did that last night. And so if you want to age them, you can dab them with some paint. I used Rusty Hinge and speckled egg. It makes a nice oxidized color. What else do I have? Jump rings, maybe, if you need those. You're going to need some of these. And this is optional. You don't have to use them. I think they're a nice addition. And that is some eyelets in various sizes, because the envelopes are different sizes. So if you have a really small one, I don't know if I have like a super tiny one. I don't have a super tiny one here, but they do come small. I think this is my smallest one that I had, and it actually took a regular eyelet. You will need some kind of eyelet setter. I have a crocodile. And I'm using wallpaper because I have so much of it. So instead of the letter, but you can collage it with whatever you want. But I have a lot of vintage wallpaper scraps left over. And then I have some images. If I want to add an image, that's optional. And I also have these little letters from Tim Holtz, the clipping sticker book. And you will need some natural colored writing paper. I just dropped my chip letters off this side. You'll need some like natural colored or some kind of writing scrap. So I keep mine all in like a box so that I can use up those scraps. And I think that's all you will need. And so how you use this then is it has a little pocket. So you slice open the side, and then it has a little pocket, and you can put in a little, notepad, or just a little letter to yourself, or you can send this in Happy Mail and send a little note to your friend and have her put it in her junk journal. Okay, let's see. And I did those, when it came time to do those, I mass make them, and I just stitch them down the center, and I do them in, roughly around the same size that I need it. But what I can do after I cut them off of this long line, just because it's faster to take a couple sheets and then just run them through, is that I can tear them or cut them a little bit shorter, or tear them to size that I needed. So I took a bunch of scraps and I already stitched those together. And then after I cut them, this is what they look like when I cut them apart. So originally when I stitched them, they were stitched together like this, right? And some of them I fold in if they're a little bit longer. That's nice to have a little flip out. And then I just cut them apart. And then later on, I'll just cut or tear to make them smaller so they fit in my little pockets. And let me get I'll show you what you can do. Let me get my journal out that I'm working in for this year. This is my journal I'm working in this year. This is me, this chubby little kid. And anyway, so you can hang them. So say I want to just take it, and I have this on a safety pin, and I can just pin it right onto a piece of whatever, on your cover or right into your journal. And it makes a cute little addition in your journal. And then you have a little secret pocket in there. So that's what we're going to make. And I decided to come on live because even if I'm just in here by myself, it's all right. I'll just work. And if you're a replay viewer, welcome, welcome. And if you're here live, feel free to either lurk, or you can put something in the chat if you want. Let me know where you're from, what you're working on. So here's some buttons I can use. So first I'm going to, I wanted to make a purple one. I'm working on a thing for my friend. So I have some things that are purple. And this is some Italian wrapping paper that I had. So I'm going to put her on the front. And what I do first is, it doesn't matter that it's ripped a little bit because you're not ever going to see that. But I take some adhesive, and I'm using this art glitter glue, which my bottle this is how much I use it. My bottle is awful. So you want to go all the way around it. First, I'm going to seal the envelope shut, and then I'm going to just put some glue all over Now I do stitch around the edge just as an accent. You don't have to stitch around it, but I'm going to first make them, and then I will use my sewing machine. So you can use you could use map to cover it with. You can use any kind of decorative paper. I'm just going to tear. I like the torn look. So that's that side. I'm going to go ahead and just do the same. Let me see. I think I'm going to use, I've got some of this Florentine paper. I think I'm going to use here. And then you're just going to go ahead and glue paper down here. Hopefully you are doing some crafting today. I'm having a beautiful sunny day on the lake. I'm looking at the geese going across the lake right now. My desk overlooks My studio overlooks a lake. Great view. Okay, so once you have that done, then you want to decide what side you want it to open on. So I'm going to then just, whoops. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to then cut the side so you can get in and access whatever little book you're putting in. I'm going to cut on this side. So you just want to hit just the edge of the envelope, just so that, I need to cut it a little more on this side. So I'm just so that you can get it open like that. And that's how you'll access the side of the envelope. And then these 3 sides are sealed. So I'm going to do that. Let's do another one with, maybe do some map. Kind of nice. So we're going to seal down the opening. Then you're just going to apply glue all over. I don't cut it down first. I find it easier if I just put the glue on first. Then take it. This one I might just do the whole thing in the map, so I'm just going to fold it across and then tear. So I'm going to do the top and tear. You can use a tearing ruler if you want. I'm not being very exact. Because it doesn't matter if you have some overhang. And then I'm going to save your scraps. Glue this side. And then I'm going to cut that edge of the envelope open. And that is where you're going to have your little hidden piece. And again, I'm going to, if I can't trim that up a little bit better. Let's make another one. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? I have some jelly print paper, which you could use. So here's a big one. So they can be any size. They'll all work. Oh, those are big buttons. I don't know that I would use that big of a button on it. Big coat buttons. Oh, I like the London fog. That's kind of neat. So maybe instead of using that, I'm going to do a little bit of collage on it instead. It's got some red there. Let's see. Let me get some wallpaper out. Well, I like that. That's got the black in it. So let's do a strip here. And there. that right like that. So I'm doing a little bit of mask making. I like to kind of build my stash up when I feel inspired. Okay, I want to tear this edge. Have a torn edge on this side. And then tear that. Whoops. That's upside down. I think what I'm going to do is cover over the word that says fog, and then just it'll say from London. That would be kind of neat. Let's see. I also have some washi tape will work. So I've got this black washi tape I can cover over the edge there. So that's another option. You can just collage on here. Let me get some more of that. This. Okay, I'm gonna, just so it's easier to work with, tear off a little piece. This is some 1940s wallpaper. So it's pretty easy to tear. I got a paper cut on my finger. It's amazing how you can cut yourself with paper. It's like, and then when you do it, it hurts. It's just a little cut. But don't tell TSA you can cut someone with paper. They won't let us bring our paper on. The airplane. Okay. So that's that side. I'm going to cover the whole back with this. So just gonna tear. I think what I'll do is I'll do 4 of them and then we'll stitch them and get them decorated. So I have these kamikaze birds I've got on my back, on the back of my house. It goes into the garage. That gives me lake access, so I can go in and out from that also. And I've got these birds that keep like dive bombing the window. There's a window on the door, and I don't know what to do so that they stop. Right now they're just like stunning themselves, like they get stunned, and then they'll fly away. But so if you're watching and you know how to keep birds from dive bombing your windows, please let me know. because I have no clue. And I feel horrible that they're doing that. So, okay, I've got these, and I'm going to take some of the Distress Oxide. You can or can't distress depending on your style, but I'm going to go ahead and do the edges. I'm finally using this Florentine paper up from when I was in Italy in 2013. I have been hoarding my stuff from Italy. And, you know, what good's it going to do sitting in a drawer, right? Might as well pull it out and enjoy using it. Sorry for the shaking. I guess I could lift my hands up off my desk. I really need to. I'm waiting on an arm for my camera. I had to get a new one because the other one broke. So it's actually attached to the desk I'm working on, which does not, it means that when you're working, you shake the desk if you touch the desk. You shake the camera, I mean, and the desk. Okay. I think on this too, I'm going to use a pencil. And then, okay. So I've got these three. I've got them already opened. And oh, this one, did I open this one? I did on this side. You know what? I might notch those. Do I have? Let's see if I've got anything to notch them with before I say I'm going to do that. Oh, I've got this little memory keeper one. I don't know if it'll fit in there though. Let's see. Do just a, I don't want to do a big notch, just do a little one. Because you kind of want it to be a little secret, but that one, yeah, this one opens. Okay, nice. All right. And then let me get my sewing machine out. You're not going to get to see how I sew because of my camera setup's overhead. So all you're going to see is the top, but I'll show you what it's going to look like at the end. And I just have a very inexpensive Brother sewing machine. It's like, I think it has like 15 stitches, which, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch the the sides that are closed already. So, and then you leave the one side open, of course, so that you can access it. And then what I do is I just keep sewing. So I go from one, and I'll show you, same way I did with the book. So I don't do some messy stitching. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you want to start on the opened side. Okay, so I have those done. Thank you for letting me do that. Then what I said was I started here, I stitch around, then I put the next one in, and I do the same thing. I just stitch around, put the next one in, stitch around. That way I don't have to keep like cutting it, going back, doing all that mess. I just snip them in between. If you want the threads, you can leave the threads. If you don't want the threads, you can just cut them off. however long you want them. All right, so we've got these. I'll make sure my states are going the right way. And then the next part you want to do is we're going to add our eyelets, and I'm using the crocodile, but you can use whatever hole punch you have. And on this one, I'm using the regular size because these are all pretty big. I'm just using the regular size grommets or eyelets. And I'm going to go to the top underneath the stitching and make a hole at the top underneath the stitching in the center, and make a hole at the top, oops, center, and make a hole. And then depending on the size of your eyelet, there is the base, and then you have the top part. So you can change how the size of your base, and there's little numbers. So I'm using number 4. I'm using number, so you pull it out and you turn it, and there'll be little numbers on there. That one I can't see very well because I have smashed it good. I'm going to say that is kind of the medium one is the one I'm using, or the largest. It's the largest. That's my base. And then I'm just going to get an eyelet out. And I like this gray one. And then what you do is you flip it over. The pointy part goes down in the hole in the long stem, and then the other part sits on the base. So it's like that. And then you squeeze it. And then I flip it over, and then I put it in the other way, and then I give it a good squeeze that way. And that way I know it's nice and smashed in there. Smashed. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use a silver one. This one. Oops. And then black one on this one. And again, you don't have to use these, but I like to add it in there. Okay. This one, did I get it good enough? Feels like I didn't. Okay. So now we have those at the top. Now I'm going to add some decor. I'm going to add a pin. I've got one of those safety pins. I have some little charms. Oh, the crown on here would be cute. Let me do a bulb pin. I think I've got a black bulb pin with the crown. And then a little bit of lace. And instead of tying the lace on the pin, I tie it first. I find it easier. And then I stick the pin through it, so it makes it look like I tied it to it. But there. Okay, then you're going to take your bulb pin and layer the charm and the little lacy bit, and then put it through the top. And how cute is that? Let's do the next one. I'm going to use one of these tiny little buttons just because it is so cute. And then I have a little bit of that. Let me tie that off. I love getting mass making. I was in here last night and I mass made a bunch of cards, journaling cards. And I'm going to just do I can use one of these little purple beads on there too. So I've got this little thing from Dollar. I need to take them out of here because I just know one day I'm going to open this thing and they are going to go flying because I have already opened it. I just feel like it's coming. I just feel like it's coming. Okay, so let's get a little purple bead out. I need to take them out of here and put them in something. Then let's get a little, I'm going to get one of these safety pins that I painted and distressed. And I'm going to, okay, I'm going to put the bead on first, then the button, and then through the ribbon, and then through the hole. A lot for this little pin. I don't know. We'll see. These, okay, these are, I bought these safety pins at the Dollar Tree and they're like so thin. Like I wouldn't count on them to attach like something to my, you know, I don't know. Anyway, they're okay for this project because I'm not going to be opening and closing it too much. But if I had to like temporarily put on a button on my pants or something, yeah, I wouldn't trust that thing. It's very, very bendy. Okay, this one, let's see. Oh, I already have this. I like that already with the little sequins and the bead on there. I just need a little bit of fabric, a little bit of string or lace. This is maybe this white. Actually, let me see. I think I'd rather have some pink. Let me see. I've got this thing of lace down here. Oops. This was some of my latest stuff. Ooh, that would go great. Trim. All the colors that are in that. Okay, let me find the end. I think this came off of pillowcases. I bought all that. I got a bunch of trim at the last estate sale. I think my haul is up from that. Is it stitched anywhere? Or they just crocheted it in a whole line all the way around. I guess so. Okay. Let's see. I think I can just put a little piece on the bow pin. Little scrap. This is a great scrap buster, let me tell you. And then I'll put it there. Like that. I mean, this was one I made earlier. Do I like that on there? No, it's too green. Do I have anything else in here? Do I have green and yellow? I have pink and yellow. Let's see. I don't know what all's in here. There's some black. And I have a bunch of yo-yos. What is this thing? Purple. There's some green. Is that the right color green? No. Here's a little piece of, no, wrong era. Peach. Nope. Any of these? How about that one? Nope. Nope. Sorry. Okay, I have this thing for this one. I wonder if I can make it look like a little tassel. I don't know. We'll try. And cut a piece of that off. And then I also have that, but I don't know, it clashes. I could use yellow. I've got this thing that has yellow, but that's, I don't know if I like it with that pink. I like the yellow on there. Well, the pop of pink's kind of cute. Okay, let me cut one of those off. All right. Is that the right color? Oh, wait. No. Okay. I can get lost down that rabbit hole. Easy. Easy. Don't do trim. Okay. So I'm just going to take the little tassel, and I need a bulb pin. Whoops. Here's that green. That matches that one. And little button. Whoops. The little tassel. So that tassel trim that you get off of furniture trim, you know, upholstery trim, yeah. Even though you may not use the whole upholstery trim, you can use the little tassels on it. Way easier than making your own tassels. Okay, that's cute on there. So I've got that. Let's do this one. I'm going to see if I can't, if it'll stay together. If I cut it in between. Let me cut this raggy end off and see what happens. I wonder if I dab it with a little bit of Fabri-Tac. And then let it dry. I'm going to go with the Fabri-Tac in between. And then we'll let it dry. And then we'll wait for a second. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, I like that button with that one. So now what you can do is take the little books we made, and we can just put them in here as little secret notes. You can have them hanging out, or you can just tuck them all the way in where you can't even see them. This one, how big is this one? This fit. This is Fun Happy Mail because you can, you know, just, it'll be easy to pop in a card in an envelope. I like that this one says paint on it. Okay, so in this case, it's a little bit wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that in because I don't want to lose that word. But I'm just going to tear this down. So it's a little bit narrower. There it goes. It's in there. And then this one, let's see, got, and then this is what I was saying, that you could just cut them apart. So you have these long strips of those little like booklets, and you just take scraps, and then I'm gonna, and you can ink them if you want, tuck that in there. So let's get one for this. And I use everything, check registers, like any kind of scrap I have that I feel like you can write on. That is what I'm making these little booklets out of. Tuck that in there. Okay, then, oh wait, I need one more for this one, even though I'm not done. Here's one. 1930 ledger paper. I'm just going to tuck that in there. But you can see how these can be addictive, and you can make a bunch of them. Just keep making. Okay, so I'm going to decorate a little bit. And some of the things I have to decorate, I cut out some little images, and it could be anything. Like this is some complexion lotion, but it says Fresh Start, so I think that would be cute on one of these. It's a good size. Here's a telephone out of a magazine, which I love, for on this, which I think I'm going to put that on there. I may have to cut the cord, but I love that on there. And here I just used, this was out of a school book, so I used her face. This was out of a little reader, kids reader, little dress. And here's another little dress, which is cute, which would be super cute on here, but I think it's too wide. It would have been really cute on there. Oh, I also have this little typewriter, so let me fussy cut that out. This lady on the typewriter. Cut her out because she would be cute. It has dollar signs, but I think I'm going to fussy cut her. And I'll put her on one of these. Maybe on this one, right? Oh, that's kind of cute because she's typing and it's from London. I like her up there. Get this little. So all those little magazine ads in the little tiny ads in your magazine that you have in the back of all the vintage magazines, this is perfect to use the little images because they're the perfect little size to collage on there. I love this. I think I'm going to have to take this off though, because that's fine, because it comes off the edge. Okay. And then we'll find some cute little sayings. So let's put this down here. And then we need some sayings. I think I'm just going to leave this one as is, and I like her. I just need to do saying, and then those will be my images, and I'll save these for other ones. And then this one. Okay, so now what I can use, oh, and they ended up going flying. You can use a book and pull words out of it. I'm just going to use these Tim Holtz. They went flying off my desk earlier. I'm going to use the Tim Holtz. Hello, don't be late to the party. You're right on time, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. So I'm using the Tim Holtz. This one's called Clippings. I don't remember what this is called. Maybe like some kind of chat or something like that. But that one's done. Well, you tell Hellcat that I said howdy too, because I'm from the South. I definitely said howdy. Let's see. Okay, I need something that talks about communication or something like that. Like, I need howdy right there. Okay, let's see. Today is a good day. It is a good day. Life is good. A party without a cake. Keep moving forward. That is a good one, I think, for maybe for this one. Okay, shine like the whole universe is yours. Okay, these are done. Those already have sayings. That from London. I'm going to leave that one. I need something for these two, which I think, let me look at this one. This is the hardest part, don't you think? I know that I am home. Oh, let's do I dream of stars that glitter. And I'm just going to make sure that I glue this down. Even though it's already sticky, I'm kind of paranoid. I don't really trust the stickiness. I'm going to put this here. Oh, you know what I can put on here? Okay, hold on a minute. I gotta go to this side of my studio because they are over here. Yeah. So I have this tiny little star punch, and I punch out these tiny, tiny little stars. And let's see, I have to use the silver ones. And they're in here. I punch bigger ones, but I have these little, there they are, itty, itty bitty. But that would be so cute with that little saying. So I've got those. I might add one of these little hearts to that one. I love punching out glitter paper. You love finding the words? Ooh, you're writing up some history today? Nice. You used to be a reporter? I didn't know that about you. That's really cool. I did not know that. That's why you're so good at history. Okay. I need to, this is a little bit too light for me. Darken that up. And then let's add these. They're so tiny. But, you know what I've got? And I always forget to use it, is this thing. Whoops. Well, that's not how you use it. Oh. This is how you do that. I used to pretend I was a reporter when I was little. I wanted a recorder. I watched, it used to be a big Brady Bunch fan growing up, and Bobby got a recorder, and then he used it to spy on his family. But I used to go around interviewing. My first interview was my dog Velvet. She didn't have very much to say, but that was my first. I first interviewed her. She was an Irish setter. I was like, I don't know, I think 6 or 7. I liked making up interview questions. That's how come when I went into film and TV, I loved doing the documentary, or not documentary, but testimonials, because I loved like interviewing people. And I always found everybody's story so interesting. Okay. Let's see. This one's done. I just need, is this dry yet? Yes, this one's dry. I'm going to come in here and cut that. And this one. I need one of these, like, not black. I need a brownish. Why when you're trying to get the one that you want, you can never get it out of there? Okay. I like my bulb pins to match my eyelets. I'm weird like that. Oh, I've got this. I was going to use this little button. This. And then tuck this at the top. I kind of feel like, yeah. And there's that. You don't even match your socks. Oh gosh. Yes. It's so funny because I love doing historical research, especially when I moved to a new town. And the town I moved to has a town museum, even though it's so tiny, such a small, tiny little town. It has it actually has a museum there, and so I want to go to that because I think it's important to know where you are and the culture. And all right, I still don't have a saying for this one. I need one for that, but these are done. Let's see. Increase our happiness, the kindness of a friend. Lucky star. Oh, the world is beautiful. I know, I think so too. And the funny part is my father was a historian, and when I was in high school, I did really, oh my goodness, I got a D in history. I barely passed. And I remember my dad was in film and TV, and then when he semi-retired, he was in charge of the Bicentennial Commission in Connecticut, and then they moved him down to Washington, D.C. So he was basically a historian and a history buff. And so anyway, when I got the D, I had to bring my report card home. My father was like, "How can you get a D in history when that's what I do?" And I was like, but it just never clicked for me when I was in high school. And I think it was just because it was more like spouting out facts and dates, and I didn't see that it was really important. And we did a lot of stuff more on the 60s era in that class. And so I don't know. It just wasn't interesting to me. But now I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see. Listen to the laughter. A record of the past. An open heart. I don't know. Are any of these going to be... Do you have this chatter book? Because maybe you can help me. Happy in her heart. No. That would have been good for that one. Okay. Let me look at this one. I am happiest with you. If I cut it shorter. Throw kindness like confetti. Hold on tight to your dreams. I just wanna. Okay. Why'd I have to choose the telephone? Why'd I choose the telephone? Let's see. It's the little things. That's what I'm gonna do. It's the little things. Like a phone call. Like a friend calling you. Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Okay, so when I moved here, when I turn the corner, there's a cemetery there. And so I went out to see, like, I wondered what the old, like, there, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And there's not even a church nearby. So apparently it's owned by a church that's in town, but like I'm 25 minutes out of town. So I don't know. But anyway, I went there because I went with a friend and I'm like, let's go around and look to see when the oldest person, how old the oldest headstone says. So we went around and we were looking and I found one. I think it was like 1829 was the first one that was there. Yeah, there probably was a church there way back when, but literally, like, it's very rural where I am, so I don't, maybe. But people are still being buried there. Yes, I know that's old. Well, I live in the South, but uh, the only thing I didn't have with me was I like to do the gravestone rubbings. Those are fun to do. And I didn't have charcoal with me or any paper. So I'm going to have to go back out. I pass it every day. But my friend's like, seriously, this is what you want to do? I'm like, yes, I want to, I want to find out who's in here and who's the oldest person in here. Oh my gosh. But I want to go to down to the historical society too. I always like to learn about where I am living. Oh, do you? That's fun. Well, there you go. You're going to have to come visit and we will go there. Okay, so this is a little too white, the sticker. So I don't feel like putting some ink on there is the right thing to do since it is. So I have my aquarels. Let me see if I can find a color to match. Oh, this color looks like this is good. No. Okay, this does not match this. I just want to say, you have to look at the point. Oh, that periwinkle is pretty. But see, this looks like periwinkle to me, but the end says that it's gray. Maybe this color. We'll try it. Better to go lighter than dark because then I can always go back in. Let's see. Oh, yeah. But I don't think that color is that color for sure. Maybe when you put water on it. I always like to outline my things. Let me let's get a water brush. Oh yeah, now it's, how do you get it back in the tray thing? No, this is not the same color as the end, but it is the same color that's in the map. So I'm liking that. Alrighty, well, I made these, and I made one for my journal, which I stuck in here already. Is right here. So thank you. They're fun, and it's a great little way to, you can just tuck in. You could always turn them into paper clips too, if you wanted. If you wanted to do turn it into a paper clip. But I think just pinning them onto your journal is a good idea. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my personal journal. That's me. I was a chubby little kid, let me tell you. I was a chubby little kid. So this is my journal. It's an old book. It was an old book. And then this, and I've got all kinds of stuff. Treasures tucked in. Pages I haven't written on. This was me when I was a little girl, and I was in one of those Tennessee. I was in one of those, what do you call it? The flying saucers, those little flying saucer things. And this is my dad's pin from one of them from the bicentennial. And I journaled. I talked about the mosquitoes, and I found this in the children's reader because when I first moved out to the lake, oh my goodness, the mosquitoes out here. Huh, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. I didn't know there could be so many mosquitoes. And I didn't know there were different types of mosquitoes. Hilton's, Virginia, and Kingsport, Tennessee. What part of Tennessee is Kingsport? So I have a lot of things to journal on in here. My sister sent me this little pillow, and I thought she had just found it. And I took the stuffing out because I thought, oh, isn't this the cutest thing ever? And how it had like a little sunbonnet baby. And so I thought this will make a cute little pocket. So I took the pillow out, and because sometimes she'll send me stuff that she finds. And then I was talking to her, and she said that she made this and gave it to our mother one year. And she did all these little French knots and gave it to my mother for Christmas one year, like I guess in her stocking or something like that. And it was a little sachet. So I did not know that. Then I'm like, okay, well, I cut the pillow out of it and I stuck it in my journal. And she's like, I think that's a fascinating idea. So anyway, she was excited that I used it in my personal journal. Anyway, so I have I just started in this one. Just started kind of tucking things in. This was from my father to my mother. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was gonna say it's right over the line from Hilton's. Oh, okay. That's funny. So you're not related to Paris? But this came in some of my mother's things after she passed. I got a box of papers and stuff I'm still going through. And it said, with love to my wife on her birthday, count the pebbles on the beach, the stars up in the sky, count the leaves on every tree and all the birds that fly. And that will give you some idea how often all year through, I'm thankful that I have a wife as wonderful as you. Happy birthday, dear. I love you always and forever. And today, your husband. He's never like he put husband at HUSBIN. But anyway, they were married. Well, they were married till my mother passed. Even though my father passed before her, she never ended up remarrying. And I remember when she was passing, she made a comment that she's like, "Oh, isn't Daddy going to be surprised when I get up there that I never remarried?" And she always felt that she always said he was the love of her life, and she could never find anyone as wonderful as he was. And he was a fabulous father. So I would agree. I would agree. He was fabulous. So she couldn't have found anybody better to be our dad. But I thought that was pretty funny. So I love going through and looking at some of the notes. But this is my own personal journal for the year. I had fun making it. And this was my mother's name is Jackie. So I took her pen and I put it on here. And yeah. And I love all like adding pockets and just fun stuff. So yeah, it's hard when you lose a parent. That's for sure. Because my mother, even though my father passed when I was 16, my mother was like the touch point for all 5 of us siblings. And so we always, she lived in South Carolina. So we would all kind of meet in South Carolina. Yes, start one for yourself and actually use it. I have a ton of journals that I have done and I start on and then I never finish. So I totally get it. But this year I'm just writing in. This has like little, just, if there's like a little story, I'm not keeping it like chronologically or anything like that. Or if I come across a little poem or saying or something or an idea, it's just like a collective. So it's not like I'm sitting here. I'm not a big journaler as far as like today I did this and like dear diary type stuff where you write every day. I'm not that kind of person. If I have a thought, I'll whip it out on like a post-it note or a scrap of paper, and then I have a whole stack of scraps of paper. So instead I keep this out and a pen, and then I'll just write it down in there really quick. Yeah, I don't know how people keep diaries like that or like a daily thing. I can't. I'll stick with it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And they say in order to form a habit, you have to do it for 21 days and then you'll form the habit of doing it. But somewhere along the way, I kind of fall off around day 18, so I never make it to the 21. Oh my goodness. You have a bunch over gifted or that you purchased. Well, that's still nice. That's still nice. I have one that my friend gave me. We were doing Defemember together. And so I got some things for Christmas. So this is the one my friend made me. And then my sister gave me this old millinery rose. So I put that on there. And then she also gave me this on my Christmas gift. So I added that because I thought that was pretty. And then I just tucked this in here. This was off of a stationery. I need to back it. This was off of a stationery box. And but this is the one that she made me for Defemember, and I love it. And I will I need to catch up on my Defemember. I actually am going to come back and do some. There was one thing I loved in Defemember where she did the clipboard. So I know, isn't it pretty? It's super chunky, really cute, and she did that layered where you cut through. I forgot what they call that. I did it for hers too. Anyway. So I've got to get to work on my Defember because it will be December. It'll be December before we know it, won't it? Oh my goodness. And we were going to work on these things. We were going to work on these things together. And she moved, I moved. Well, I wasn't moving. I had already moved. And but I had to have some work done on inside the house, and it just kicked up a bunch of dust, and oh my goodness, found one thing after another. And so they're gonna have to tear the tub out now that I'm out of my new bathroom because somebody installing it, or the tile person, or somebody, they ran a box cutter all along the top of the tub, and it's cut, and they've had 2 people out to try to fix it. They can't fix it, and it's going to be a mess because when they pull the tub out, means the tile's going to have to come out, the drywall is going to have to come out, and they access the tub through my studio. So I've got to move my bookcase. It's all full of books and stuff that I've all organized and stuff on top of it. And plus you got drywallers and painters and plumbers and I can't even. I don't know. And the glass people. Okay, I'll let you go. You set goals and then you break them. Oh, I know the feeling. So, yeah, it's a mess. But anyway, it'll get done. It'll get done. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you came in here to keep me company because, I was doing the all by myself. Well, I think there were lurkers in here. There's a bunch of lurkers, which is fine. I don't mind lurkers at all. Not at all. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm going to hop off too because I'm going to go get myself. I've been doing some intermittent fasting because, oh my goodness, I gained 7 pounds over the holidays. So I'm back on intermittent fasting, hopefully to get it off. And I know I am too. I'm so behind on videos. So I'm like, I need to too. I kind of got off watching the YouTube videos for a while because I found I was spending a lot of time doing that and not what I should be doing. But anyway. All right. Thanks for joining me. All of you who are lurking, thank you for joining me. All the replay viewers, thank you for joining me. I hope you get out your wallpaper scraps or scrap papers and make some of these really cute little pocket tag thingies. I don't know what you want to call them. And anyway, charms, tiny pocket charms, and have some fun. Give yourself a play date. All right. Bye, Sandy. Talk to you later.